LEGO is the most amazing product in the world, but unfortunately every set has to go at some point. In this video, I'll be talking about every single LEGO set retiring in 2024. Let's get into it. First on the list is a 75257 Millennium Falcon. This is the oldest set on the entire list, and it's definitely an overdue retirement. By the time it's retiring, it will have had a lifespan of over 5 years. Next is a 75290 Mos Eisley Cantina. I'm a bit sad to see this one go. It's an amazing set that was long awaited, but it's had a long run with a lifespan of over 4 years, so I think the time is right for this one, and hopefully this opens up a space for another Master Builder Series set in 2025 or 2026. Next is a 75304 Darth Vader's helmet. I've never really liked this helmet, it just looked a bit off to me, so I'm not really disappointed about this one. Next is a 75308 R2-D2. This retirement makes a lot of sense to me as a new buildable R2-D2 just came out, so it wouldn't make much sense to keep both of them on shelves. Next is a 75313 AT-AT. This one is the most sad for me. I understand that you can't have too many UCS sets out at once, but I feel like it's just gone too soon. It's definitely one of the greatest LEGO sets of all time. Next is a 75341 Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder. This one is also an amazing set, but I feel like this is the perfect time for it to retire. So if you haven't picked one up yet, I've seen it on sale before, so maybe check the latest deals on sites like eBay. Next is a 75333 Obi-Wan Kenobi's Jedi Starfighter. Although this is a great starfighter, I was surprised that it stayed out as long as it did. I feel like the time is right for this one to go. Next is a 75344 Boba Fett Starship Microfighter, and we'll just move on from this one. Next is a 40615 Tusken Raider. It's $10. It's a great brickhead set. If you feel like it, might as well get it. Next is a 35345 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. It's definitely not the best battle pack, so take it or leave it. Next is a 75347 TIE Bomber. This is a great set, so if you want to pick it up, the time is right. If you have money lying around, I definitely suggest you do. Next is a 75350 Clone Commander Cody helmet. This one is definitely a great helmet, and I feel like it didn't have as much shelf life as it could have, especially since the Captain Rex helmet isn't retiring at the end of 24. I would still love to have them both on shelves, but LEGO is just putting a bit more into Captain Rex than with Cody with the Venator, for example. Next is a 75351 Princess Leia or Boushh helmet. This is one of the most unique helmets, but I think with the helmet line seemingly ending in 2024, I think that this is the right time for this one to go. Next is a 75346 Pirate Snubfighter. Even though the set only came out last year, I feel like it's not the best set and almost feels like an overdue retirement. Next is a 75348 Mandalorian Fangfighter vs. TIE Interceptor. This set is really great and I would definitely recommend it for the TIE Interceptor, but the Fangfighter is not as recognizable as you barely see it in the Mandalorian show, and it just adds extra cost. If you plan on picking up the TIE Bomber, the Interceptor really complements it and would look great beside it on display. Next is the 75352 Emperor's Throne Room Diorama and the 75353 Endor Speeder Chase Diorama. Both are great diorama sets. I'm especially sad to see the Throne Room go, as that one was one of my personal favorites. Next is a 75356 Executor Superstar Destroyer. I feel like this one could have stayed on shelves a bit longer so that the people that are just getting into midi-scale with the March 1st releases can have some time to purchase, in my opinion, the greatest midi-scale set. Next is the 75358 Tennu Jedi Temple. If you have kids that are young, or you are a kid that watches a Young Jedi Adventure show, it has great minifigures and would pair great with the Crimson Firehawk that released about a month ago. Next is a 75359 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper Battle Pack. Once again, you can take it or leave it, it's not the best. Next is the 75360 Yoda's Jedi Starfighter. If you have to choose a Starfighter, I would definitely choose Obi-Wan's over this one because it has more minifigs, but if you are a fan of Yoda, I would definitely pick it up. Next one is the 75361 Spider Tank. This one is personally a skip unless you want the Bo-Katan minifigure, which is really great, but in my eyes, the build isn't worth the $50 that you're paying for it. Next is the 75363 The Mandalorian's N1 Starfighter Microfighter. I personally don't collect microfighters, but what I do know is that this one is more expensive than the rest only because of that one Baby Yoda, so I'm not going to recommend this. Next is the 75365 Yavin 4 Rebel Base. This one is definitely a bit too expensive for what you get, and even though the minifigures are great, a lot of people are going to pass on this one, so you might find it on clearance. Next is the 75368 Darth Vader mech, the 75369 Boba Fett mech, and the 75370 Stormtrooper mech. Maybe if you find this on sale or on clearance, they might be worth it, but for now they're definitely a pass. Next is the 75357 Ghost and Phantom 2. This one has just gone way too soon. It will have only had a little bit over 1 year of a shelf life. I'm really surprised that LEGO is retiring this one so early, especially with Ahsoka Season 2 in the works, as well as many other movies that could potentially include such an iconic ship. Next is the 75354 Coruscant Guard gunship. Even though this one is released on the exact same day as the Ghost, I think this is the right time for this one to retire. Especially with the 25th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith next year, maybe we can get a regular gunship playset, or maybe something else. Next is a 75364 New Republic E-Wing vs. Shin Hades Starfighter. This one is an amazing set, even though the ships don't actually fight each other in the shows. The builds are incredible and the minifigures are top tier. Finally is the 75371 Chewbacca. This one might as well be a clearance buy, as at $200 many people find it a bit creepy, and I agree. Those are all of the LEGO Star Wars sets retiring in 2024. Comment your thoughts down below. Do consider subscribing for weekly LEGO Star Wars content, and I will see you next time.